The president who put out that tweet about immigrants yesterday, he chose to attack the line used by George H.W. Bush, first at his convention speech, then at his inauguration speech, when he was talking about volunteerism around the country and civic duty around the country. And he talked about 1,000 points of light. And just remember what George H.W. Bush said. He said he wants volunteerism in these people who want to help spread like stars, like 1,000 points of light in a broad and peaceful sky. George H.W. Bush. And then this is what I hope we have what Donald Trump had to say about it last night.
You know, all the rhetoric you see here, the 1,000 points of light. What the hell was that, by the way? 1,000 points of light. What did that mean? Does anyone know? I know one thing. Make America great again, we understand. Putting America first, we understand. 1,000 points of light. I never quite got that one. I'm trying to say, what the hell is that? Has anyone ever figured that one out? And it was put out by a Republican, wasn't it?
I figured it out, Errol. It was a speech written by Peggy Noonan, a lovely speech for George H.W. Bush, a man who was shot down in a plane in World War II, calling for Americans to rally together and help each other in civic organizations and charities.
It was not a simple slogan. It was not a simple enough slogan. But beyond that, I mean, for him, for his taste, is what he's saying.
He's also running down the 90-plus-year-old George H.W. Bush, who's recovering.
And more to the point is just...
Go ahead, Errol.
This is the Trump presidency sort of writ small, right? This has been an invitation from the very beginning, from the time he came down the escalator. He's invited Americans to turn their back on our own deeply held cultural traditions. You have... You know, people have talked about, foreigners have talked about the volunteer spirit in the American culture since the 19th century. It's a big, deep part of who we are. And he's inviting people to sort of, disregard it, denigrate it, turn your back on it, and so forth. I don't think it works in the end, but it's one more piece of ugliness that we've heard from this administration.
Well, let's be even more pointed than that. Mr. President, just because you're too stupid to not understand what George Bush meant doesn't mean the rest of us don't understand what he meant.
But Brian, furthermore, I mean, I think that what is the strategy in mocking a former Republican of your own party president and war hero? Who does that work with?
Well, it works with his base. I mean, let's be honest. There is no longer a GOP. There is a Trump party. Yeah. And the members of the GOP, including Flake and members of the Tea Party segment of that party, have fled. The people that are left in the GOP are those who own fealty to Donald Trump and those who worship Donald Trump. And he's appealing to those people.
A large part of the base is simply people enjoying the spectacle of an insult comic as president. The argument that conservatives have traditionally made in favor of smaller government is that the American spirit of volunteerism is supposed to offset that. So he's denigrating a 94-year-old war hero former president. He's also denigrating the conservative tradition.